ChumbaCasino.com. Choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Stansbury Show, Rock 106.9.
And welcome to Tuesday morning on the Stansbury Show here at Rock 106.9. We're online for you that at WRQK.com. If you miss Monday's program, you can grab the podcast right there. Also, we have highlighted the Bert Kreischer interview and posted that as a separate pod. If you just want to grab that interview, you can do that online at WRQK.com as well. I do have Bert Kreischer tickets for you all week this week, as he'll be in town on the 20th, that at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium for the Fully Loaded Comedy Festival, fullyloadedfestival.com if you'd like to buy some tickets. But I'll be hooked up at 7:45 this morning. We'll pass out some Bert Kreischer tickets. It's Tuesday morning, so we know at 9 a.m. I will give you New Tour Tuesday. I have new Eminem, new-ish rather. This kind of came out while I was gone, but a lot of people gonna get it this time. He's gonna get it. No, he isn't. You're gonna get it, New 311, that part of New Tour Tuesday. We will do that. 9 a.m. this morning. Also have a local option for you this morning. Goody and the Gospel, who have been on New Tour Tuesday before. I'm a fan of the project. Let's take a listen to their new song called Plane. I'm into this project. It used to be called the Gotta Need It. I always like that name. I like Goody in the Gospel too. I just kind of like that sound. It's a little, I guess, Jack White, a little Black Keys-ish, if you will. There's a little bit of that in there, right? And I've always enjoyed Jason and his projects, Goody in the Gospel. We'll give you the rest of Blame that for New Tour Tuesday coming up at 9 o'clock. Like I said, I have Bert Kreischer tickets for you at 7:45. And at 8 a.m. this morning, what rich people do to hold on to their money. It turns out it's not just inheriting. It's not just this. They are actually more frugal than you and I. They don't just waste money just to be doing it. We'll give you the frugal tips of rich people. We'll do that coming up at 8 o'clock this morning.
If you leave, you'll miss this on the Stansbury Show.
All right, so over the last year, I've been talking about how I'm starting to get a little bit more afraid to fly these days. Well, it turns out an airline is making flying even worse. Wait till you hear about this. We'll get into it next here at Rock 106.9. 9 a.m., I'll have a keyword that will give you $1,000, and we'll also send you to the iHeartRadio Music Festival. We'll get that passed out to you at 9 a.m., and then New Tour Tuesday will happen. New Eminem, new Hardy, new 311, new Goody in the Gospel. All part of that today. Looking forward to it. That at 9 a.m. All right, I think it was about, I don't know, a year and a half ago, I was like, I don't know, man, I'm starting to get a little bit more worried about the flying. And I'm sure it's just because I see more videos now than ever. But there were videos all over the place. Like wheels falling off planes and passengers talking about how windows are being ripped off the side of the plane in mid-flight. We had two planes crash into one another on the runway the other day at a local airport. Not the other day, but I think a couple of weeks ago at a local airport. I mean, things are just bonkers. Right? And I've been talking about how I feel like a lot of companies, a lot of industries, rather, did not come out of COVID all that well. Some of the restaurant industry did not come out of COVID all that well. And it feels like airlines, that's true of. I don't know if I'm right about it, but it feels that way to me. Right? And I just see more and more videos of it, and I'm just like, I don't know, man. And then I didn't even talk about the fact that people are beating each other to a pulp in the airports. And then you got on the plane, and then there's fights there and all this. It just doesn't, honestly, it just doesn't even seem worth it at this point. I think anything under a 12-hour drive, right about there. It's like, I'm driving. Over 12 hours, probably got to get on the plane. Now, that's an easy place for me to put that line. One. Well, because all my family's over 12 hours away. So it's like, all right, well, if I'm doing that, I'm getting on the plane, right? And I'm probably not going anywhere that's 10 hours away. I'm probably not doing it. It's just not, well, maybe to play golf, I guess. And we would drive to do that. I don't think I would fly to do that. But now, apparently, one airline is going to make your experience that much worse. I have traditionally been a fan of this airline as I have flown it before, United. They've been going through it recently. They have. All right. Back in the day, I flew them a lot. It was them, Continental, and Delta were the three airlines I would use a lot. Right. They were the big three. But apparently, they're going to market to you during your flight. United Airlines will now display targeted ads on the seatback screens as they're looking to cash in on your data. Now, if you're already toggling through the in-flight film and TV sections and all that stuff, you see ads during the programming, of course, right? Welcome to television. It also includes a 30-second commercial that will now reflect the information United has compiled on individual travelers, like where they live and destinations that they have traveled to. Quote, we've built a first-of-a-kind, real-time, ad tech-enabled traveler media network where brands have already started connecting to premium audiences at an unmatched scale. Let me say this differently to you. We've given them more spyware, and now they are deeper into your life than you ever wanted them before. There it is. That's what they just said there. But that's what Richard Nunn, CEO of United's Mileage Plus, said Friday. Quote, there has been a huge strategic shift within this high-growth sector in the past 5 years, where advertisers and brands have come together to determine how to best connect with customers in a way that's valuable, effective, and personalized. Well, yes, people are looking for a little bit more. Like Instagram did this really, really well. People have kind of caught on to it now, but Instagram really kind of changed the ad game a little bit. They did. And people were watching product placement and enjoying it. I was like, you guys are watching commercials and loving it. Now, it's not that new. People used to watch the infomercials all the time. It'd be like, oh my God, dude, Billy Mays is going to bring out the OxyClean again. Oh my God, it cleans blood, right? And like people would watch that like constantly. But Instagram kind of changed the game where people felt like they were just like that's all influencers are. That's 95% of what they're doing is pitching you a product, right? But they're hiding it in a way. And so you feel like most people feel as if you're involved in that. This will just be a television screen screaming more things at you. I don't know if that's what people are going to be looking for. The airline says they have nearly 100,000 seatback screens across its fleet with a potential for 3.5 hours of attention per traveler based on the average flight time. Now, again, the flight I take most or the place I go most would be Las Vegas. It's not even close. And that's about a 4-hour flight. So that sounds right, at least for me. United said it would only use the information on passengers 18 and older. Okay. And all customers have the option of opting out of the targeted advertising at any time. All right. How easy is that going to be? I guess that would be my question. Airline passengers should have confidence that their personal information is not being shared improperly with third parties or mishandled by employees. That, according to the U.S. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg in a statement released at the time of this announcement. Yeah, we should be able to have all of that. I don't have any confidence of that whatsoever. Zero. I'm not even so much worried about my data. I don't fly enough for that to be my concern about it. I really don't. I looked this up. I guess they say the average U.S. citizen flies 4 times a year. That sounds very high. Very. Now, maybe Canton is just, I guess, maybe an outlier. But this would be anecdotal at best, but like, I can't remember the last time I had to go to the airport or pick somebody up at the airport or heard somebody talk about flying. Like, it's just not a very good. No, my circle's not all that big. You guys are maybe flying a lot more than people I know. That's maybe fair. What I'm concerned about is that this is going to turn into Black Mirror. Black Mirror had this episode that was, honestly, I think it's the most accurate predictor of what your future will be. And it was basically, we all worked at energy farms. We would go and we would pedal bikes to create energy, which would then create everything. And then you would earn credits, and you would use those credits to turn advertising off. Like, you lived where you worked, right? Get ready for that. I've been saying this for 30 years. I said I couldn't believe iHeart didn't buy apartment buildings back in the day, and we're like, oh, you don't make enough money? Okay, well, we'll let you live in this apartment for part of your salary. Like, I can't believe this company hasn't done that. But in this Black Mirror episode, you worked at like an energy farm. You pedal for the energy, and then you go home to your like little apartment. But all the walls in your apartment are screens. And they just shove like the KFC ad or whatever the hell the thing is. And if you want peace and quiet, you got to spend some of that money to get your peace and quiet. That to me is what this sounds like. Where that's where we're headed. Where, did you walk outside of your house? We should be able to scream in your ear with a megaphone. Oh, you want that to stop? Give us the $100 and we'll turn it off right now. Welcome back to the Stansbury Show. It's 330-450-7625 to text the studio. You can also find me on your socials at The Stansbury Show. Taylor has done that. As we were talking about United Airlines and their targeted ads. They're going to start showing you targeted ads on the seatback screens. Right? It'll have your data, like where you've been before, what you like, what you don't, and they'll start targeting those ads to you. And look, targeting ads is part of advertising these days. Like, everybody thinks your phone is listening to you, and it is for sure. Like, they've proven it over and over again. But another thing that it does is, I don't think people understand how often you Google things, or like what you don't remember everything you've Googled, right? Like, that's the thing. Or the people that you've texted with or have responded to online, like all of that is kind of tracked, and then they custom tailor that stuff to you. That's what the data is. Well, at least partially what it is, right? But Taylor's like, dude, I think it would be all right if I was on the plane, they figured out where I was going, and like there's an amusement park in town and I get 10% off if I use this ad or whatever. Yeah, that sounds like that would be good. I don't know how hard it would be for the airline to figure out where you're going. So also, I would imagine most of the people on my plane are going where I'm going, right? Now, I know there's stopping and connecting flights and this and that. I got to be honest with you, I'm a little bit of a diva. I don't really like to stop and connect flights. If I fly, I'm the guy who pays the $400 extra to fly direct. I'm that guy. Like, I shouldn't, but I am that guy. I don't like to be, you guys know this. I don't know why I don't like to be annoyed. I like annoying you. I don't want anybody annoying me. Right? And like, that's kind of one of those things. And flying direct saves me the hassle of being worried. I don't, again, I'm going to use the word anxiety here. It's not anxiety, but like, I have a little bit of like, oh my God, am I going to catch my next flight? Am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? And I don't necessarily like that feeling. But I take your point that if you saw it as a complete benefit to you, you would not see it as intrusive. Well, my guess is that's what they're going to try their best to do. That's what targeted ads, that's why they are a decent idea, is because, like, all right, I'm a golf viewer, right? Like, I like watching golf. There's next to zero chance I buy anything that is promoted during a golf broadcast. Very few things are even relatable to me. Like, sometimes I see those IBM commercials and they're telling business owners what they're going to do. I was like, I have no idea. What is this an ad for? What are they doing? Like, what do they do? Tell me what it is. How does this work, man? Like, I see all that stuff. Rolex? I'm never buying a Rolex. Now, that's not true, as I own a few Rolexes. I don't wear my Rolexes. I bought them as investments. They're sitting in a safe. But I don't wear them, and they're not the Rolexes you would like. They're not like a rapper Rolex. Like, that's not what I bought, right? And so I'm not going into, this is my point. I'm not buying a $25,000 watch to wear it. Like, I'm not doing that, right? I'm probably not buying the car brands that get advertised during the U.S. Open that's starting this week. I probably wouldn't. Some of them, sure. But, like, you really watch that stuff, it's like, dude, this many people buying $200,000 cars? Like, it's kind of one of those things. I've been saying this with baseball, right? Like, they got that older audience. They want the younger audience. How do you do it?
Feel free to check out my channel.
Right, because that older audience is the
kind of videos on there.
And so they want to hold on to them.
Constantly uploading.
And so it's tough.
Stuff.
I'm going too far around the globe to get to this point. But that's what makes targeted ads a better system. It's just a way of showing you things you are more likely to care about and or interact with and purchase. That's it. That's it. It's using technology, yes, to understand who you are. I've told you this before. You would not believe how much I know of you. You in particular? No. People in general? Yes. This company and a lot of others spend millions of dollars to figure out who you are. Better serve you. What's more likely to make you press a button on or off? What's more likely to make you turn a radio up versus down? What's more likely, when you leave a radio station, how long is it? I know this answer. When you go channel surfing, the way we all do, I know how long you're gone. On average, I know the far end, I know the low end, and I know the averages. We know all of that. We've studied all of that in order to be better at what we do. To try to give you a product that's better for you than it was before. Stop playing the same 15 songs. I know. The number one complaint of radio stations since the beginning of time, and yet listening, again, pretty highs right now. Pretty highs. The reason why that is, and I say this every time, and nobody ever likes this answer because it's the truth and it doesn't sound fun, but this is the answer. Because your drive time to the office is short. And so we're giving you the songs that you know so you can sing the chorus along with it when you're driving into work versus going, what the hell is this I'm listening to? And that thing that makes you change the station, what the hell am I listening to? That's what makes you hit the button, not Metallica. I know, everybody tells you it's Metallica. It ain't. I've seen the data, baby. It ain't. Like, I'm here to tell you, it's not, that's not the reality. And so targeted ads kind of work like that. It's trying to find the Def Leppard song you like the most. It's trying to find what brand are you most likely to work with. Because we're both trying to be effective to you, yes, and the advertiser, both at the same time. Another way to say it is serving two masters. Not tough, not necessarily the easiest thing in the world to do. But you're only going to see more and more of this as we go on. You're only going to get more and more of it as the world becomes more and more tech-based. If now, like that sounds like I told you, if you don't want it, throw the phone in the garbage can. It won't matter. It won't matter. It's like those gas station emails. Everybody don't buy gas tomorrow and it'll crash $6 or whatever the hell the thing is. And it's like, well, yeah, but it's never going to work because you're never going to get everybody not to buy gas. And you're never going to get everybody to be like, you know what, this tech stuff, I don't like it. You know what I mean? Like, that's not going to be the way that ends up going down. I am okay. I'm all right with targeted ads in the seat back on a flight. I'm okay with it. I love advertising. It better serves me. I need to know what to buy. Like, I'm fine with it. I love it, right? It also helps pay for my electric bill. I like that part too. So, like, let's be honest. I'll put the cards on the table for you, right? I'm okay with targeted ads in the seat back of the airline. What I want and what I don't think I will have 3 years from now is the option to turn it off. They say you can turn off the targeted ad thing now. I'm saying I think in about 3-4 years, they're going to tell you can't turn the screens off at all. And now I'm kind of forced to have that versus being able to sit there quietly, maybe read a book and not have the distraction right in front of me. My guess is that will come to an end. 9 a.m. I'll have a $1,000 keyword for you, and that will also send you out to the iHeartRadio Music Festival as well. 9 a.m. I'll get you that keyword, and then we'll start New Tier Tuesday, which has new Eminem part of that. Also, new 311. Yeah, one of my favorites there. That's me being facetious. Not a big fan. Traditionally. Their fans kind of hate it because I'm like, well, the one good song they had is the one everybody hates is Amber. I like that song. 311 fans. Of course, sell out. All that stuff people always talk about, like, I don't know, like being like the best 311 fan is going to do something for you, I guess. I don't know. People get all up in their about it. We have the NBA Finals. Game 3 tomorrow evening. Boston's got a 2-0 lead. And I would rather see the Mavericks. I know there's the Kyrie thing and, like, you know, that whole thing. Boston. I love the Boston uniforms. I think the green and white is such a good colorway. Love it as a matter. Big fan. But I'm not a big fan of the team. I like the garden and the floor looks great and all. I like a lot of stuff. I don't necessarily like the Celtics themselves, right? I'm not into it. And I don't think Jason Tatum is as good as everybody says he is. And like, I just feel like there's a little overrated there. And I would rather see Kyrie and Luka kind of get this done. Will they or won't they? I don't know. Pretty tough now that you're down 2-0. Although now you go back to Dallas and we'll see. And maybe that series will get leveled out. I bring it up because the head coach of the Celtics has gone viral over some comments he made to reporters while being asked questions. Now, addressing the media is part of a professional's job inside the world of sports, coaches and players alike. Again, $25 million a year salaries don't fall out of the sky. They are built off of fan interest. And fans getting a little bit more of this, or hearing you say this, or answering this question, helps create said interest. And there's this thing now where, like, athletes are starting to become more and more annoyed with having to address media. And why is that? Well, because they can address you directly via their social media. Now, so many of you just went, well, good, that's better. No, it isn't. So they can just straight up lie to you and then never tell you the other thing. The reporter's job is to go, well, what about this? Or what about that? And then tell you, so we're being told this, but behind closed doors, my sources are telling me. And so there is a disdain of the media right now, for sure. Absolutely. Everybody in the world is allowed to say bad media except for one man. You know, the guy that got everybody sick. But he's the one man, baby, who ain't allowed to say this no more. Somehow, he's awful. Everybody else says it. It's like, yeah, we're paying attention to stuff. I'm not necessarily looking to go all him all day. That's not what I'm doing. But it's become like this Staples easy button, the media is bad. Well, of course, the person who has the secrets being told about them that they wish weren't being told is telling you the media. We saw a little of this with the WNBA the other day. where a WNBA player was asked, what does the bench have to do for you guys to win more games? And the woman, of course, treats the reporter like an idiot. Says, is that a real question? What a stupid question. Stands up and walks out. In the NHL the other night, there was a head coach who was asked, how do you feel about this hit? He said, this isn't the Oprah Winfrey Show. My thoughts don't matter. My feelings don't matter. We're getting a little too disrespectful of the media. I'm sorry. We are, just a little bit. I know they ask the same question over and over and over again. I know. And I've explained to you why that is a thing. So yesterday I had one of the biggest comedians in the world on. His name is Bert Kreischer. I asked him a couple of questions that guy gets asked in every interview he's ever done. The reason is, your audience hears him on the show and goes, what do you mean you didn't ask him that? That's how the same questions get asked over and over and over again. That's how that. And I understand that it would be annoying to be asked the same questions over and over and over again and have to give the same PC answer. Make sure you don't say